Hello guys, welcome to UAK Science. This week we're going to learn about particles and diffusion.
The first thing we need to do, guys, is to complete the recall task. Pause the video and complete this now. Okay, well done. So it's now time to go through the answers. So the diagram of particles in a solid should look like this. They should be in regular rows and columns, and that's the sort of diagram we're looking for there. The particles need to be touching as well. In terms of properties of a solid, the particles don't move, they only vibrate. They have a definite shape and volume. They don't flow because the particles can only vibrate, they can't move. They've got strong intermolecular forces. That's what stops the particles from separating and moving around. And they are incompressible. They can't be squashed into a smaller shape because they're already touching each other. They can't get any closer together. The diagram of particles in a liquid is similar to the solid in that the particles are touching, but the particles can swap places and they are not in a regular structure. They're just kind of a random arrangement, but touching. Number 4 is properties of a liquid. So their volume doesn't change either. They can flow, which means they can pour and change shape and stuff to fill the shape of a container, and they're incompressible. That's because they're touching and can't get any closer together. Particles of a gas, they are well spaced out and they are randomly arranged. Because gas particles are far apart, they can be easily compressed and pushed further closer together. They can flow because the particles can move, they're free to move. They can change the shape and the volume. A gas will take up the volume and the shape of its container, and they can diffuse, that means spread out. The change of state from solid to liquid is called melting, like when ice cubes melt or a candle melts from solid to liquid. Number 8, the name of a change of state from liquid to gas is called evaporation, like how sweat evaporates off your forehead, or like water evaporates out of a glass if you leave it on a windowsill. Number 9, gas to liquid is called condensation, like when you've been boiling potatoes and the hot steam hits the cold window and turns into a liquid. Change of state from a liquid to a solid we know as freezing, like when you buy ice pops and freeze them yourself in your freezer, or when you make up ice cube trays from water. 11. Challenge question is to define concentration. Concentration is the amount of substance in a given space, or the amount of mass of a substance per unit volume, like 5 milligrams per milliliter, for example. Number 12, another challenge question to define diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of a substance from a high concentration to a low concentration. Now that you've completed the quiz, you're ready for lesson 2, particles and diffusion. Imagine your favourite food is being cooked in the kitchen. How does the smell of the food get to you? Have a think about that. Pause the video. Today's learning objectives are: describe the properties of solids, liquids and gases, explain concentration, explain and give examples of diffusion. Keywords for today are solid, liquid, gas, already visited in the starter, volume, mass, concentration and diffusion. You need to watch the video, draw particle diagrams and make notes about the properties of the 3 purple words. Let's see if we can label these changes of state. Pause the video and decide what each one of these arrows represents and write your answers on a piece of paper. Okay, well done for doing that. It's time to go through the answers. So the top arrow is a solid going straight to a gas. That's called sublimation. Below that arrow on the left, where we've got solid to liquid, that is melting. Where we've got liquid to solid, that's freezing. Where you've got liquid to gas, that's evaporation. And gas to liquid is condensation. You can also use this diagram to check your answer. Above is a picture of different volumes of Ribena in water. The mass each time is the same, The lower the volume of Ribena in the glass, the lower the concentration. Pause the video and have a go at defining the purple words. Volume is the amount of space something takes up. Mass is how much substance you've got, how many particles. And the concentration is how much mass you've got per unit volume, how much mass there is per litre. Next thing we need to do is watch the video and define diffusion from it. Pause this video and watch that video. Next, we need to draw two particle diagrams to show what happens to a deodorant when you spray it first and then 5 minutes later. This is diffusion. Pause the video and have a go at that. Okay, so you need to write down which sentence is most correct now. Diffusion is the movement of particles from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration, or diffusion is the movement of particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Correct answer is diffusion is the movement of particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Well done if you got that right. Next thing we're going to look at is the rate of diffusion. What could you do to make this cup of tea brew faster? This means the rate of diffusion will be faster. Think about what you can do to make tea brew quicker. You could make the water hotter. You could add more tea bags, which makes a greater initial concentration. You could change the shape of the tea bag, which increases the surface area. Either on paper or a Google document, you need to do the following task. The next slides are about diffusion in living things. Answer the following questions for each one. Where does it happen in the body or plant? Why is diffusion necessary? How is the part of the body or plant suitable for diffusion to happen? So lesson 3 is a progress check lesson. We need you to write a story about how the smell of food, which is a gas, spreads out. Imagine your favourite food is being cooked in the kitchen. How does the smell of the food get to you? Once you've had a go at this progress check, you can send this to your teachers for some feedback. Here are some tips to help you with that task. You need to use the keywords. You need to explain what the words mean and include factors that can change the rate of diffusion. Here's the keywords for you. Pause the video and answer the question.
Well done for all your hard work today. Don't forget to send your work to your teacher and don't forget to do your task. Keep up the hard work, guys, and we'll see you soon.